Chief Martins was a man everyone in Lagos respected. He was rich, powerful, and well connected. His mansion in Banana Island was the kind of place people only saw in magazines, and his businesses stretched across the country. He had a wife, Kamsi, who stood beside him at every public event, and children who studied in the best schools. But behind all that glamour, Chief Martins had a secret life. That secret was Doris, a young, beautiful, light skinned lady. Doris was everything a man like Martins could want to flaunt in private. He showered her with gifts, a luxury apartment in Lekki, bags that cost millions, expensive human hair, and the latest jewelry. To outsiders, she looks like a successful big babe, but only a few knew that her lifestyle came from Chief Martin's pockets. This includes Sophia, her friend, who knew everything about Doris and Chief Martins. Yet, deep inside, Doris was not satisfied, but she enjoyed the money. Yes, she did, but she knew this was not love. She didn't want to end up as another man's hidden second wife. She wanted more, her own husband, her own family, and a name she could proudly carry. One afternoon, Doris sat across from Chief Martins in her living room, her tone unusually firm. Chief, she said, I can't keep living like this. I want to get married. I want a man I can call my own. Martins nearly choked on his drink. He had never had her talk like that before. Married? To who? He asked, frowning. He reminded her of all he had given her, all she stood to lose if she left him. You don't need a husband, Doris. I am enough. But Doris shook her head. For once, she stood her ground. She told him she wasn't meant to remain a side chick forever. Martins grew angry and warned her not to even think of seeing another man. To him, Doris belonged to him alone. What he didn't know was that Doris' heart was already taken by a man he would never expected. Late at night, when Mantis thought Doris was dreaming of him, she was instead smiling at her phone. Richard, the man she met online, filled her heart with laughter. They had met on Facebook months ago, and his kind words quickly turned into late night calls. Unlike Chief, Richard didn't treat her like a possession. He asked her about her dreams, her family, her childhood. He made her feel like a real woman. Richard lived abroad, but he promised to come back to Nigeria soon. When I return, Doris, I will marry you, he told her in one of their video calls. Doris' heart melted. Finally, she had found someone who didn't see her as an accessory. She never told Richard about Martins. Why spoil something so sweet with such a dark truth? To Doris, Richard was the future, while Martins was just a shadow from her present. What she didn't know was that the web of fate was already tightening, preparing to reveal the truth in the most shocking way. One afternoon, Doris was shopping at a popular Lagos supermarket. While searching for groceries, she noticed a woman suddenly stumbled and clutched her chest. Without thinking twice, Doris rushed to her aid, calling for help and hiring a taxi. She stayed with the woman all the way to the hospital until doctors stabilized her. The woman introduced herself as Mrs. Kamsi, the wife of a prominent billionaire. Doris smiled politely, not revealing that she knew exactly who her husband was. From that day, Kamsi grew fond of Doris. You are a good girl, she often told her. The world needs more women like you. To Kamsi, Doris was an angel. To Doris, it was awkward but also touching. She never expected the wife of the man she was secretly seeing to call her a blessing. Life was already playing a cruel joke, and Doris didn't even know that the connection would one day put her in the middle of an unforgettable storm. The day finally came. Richard, the man Doris loved online, returned to Lagos after finishing his studies abroad. Handsome, smart, and full of energy. He was everything Doris had ever dreamed of. When he finally saw her in person, he knew he had made the right choice. You are even more beautiful than in our calls, he whispered as he hugged her. Doris blushed, her heart beating fast. Richard wasted no time. He told his parents he had found the woman he wanted to marry. Excited, his mother Kamsi asked to meet her. Doris agreed, though she had no idea what awaited her. She prepared carefully, wearing a modest but elegant dress. She told herself nothing could go wrong, but her heart nearly stopped when Richard drove her to his family home. As the gate opened and the mansion came into view, Doris realized where she was. This was Chief Martin's house. Her words spun, but she kept her face calm. She knew she had to act quickly or everything would fall apart. Kamsi welcomed Doris with a warm hug the moment they stepped into the living room. You are the angel that helped me that day, she said, smiling like a mother who had found a lost daughter. Doris nodded and kept her voice calm. Her mind was racing, but her face stayed cool. Richard held Doris' hand and introduced her as the woman he wants to marry. Everyone clapped except Chief Martins, who stood at the stairs, breathing slowly. Eyes locked on Doris like he had seen a ghost. Doris felt his stares, but looked away. She greeted him politely. Good afternoon, sir. He answered with a stiff nod. The air inside that beautiful Banana Island mansion felt tight, like someone had tied a rope around it. Kamsi called the cook to bring small chops and drinks. Richard talked about his plan, a new tech setup in Lagos, a future with Doris, meeting her parents soon. Kamsi's joy filled the room, but Chief Martins kept silent. His jaw hard. He excused himself and left the room, his footstep heavy on the marble floor. Doris knew this storm had only started. After the visit, Chief Martins called Doris and told her to meet him at the quiet park lot near Victoria Island. She went steady and ready. He sat in his black SUV, windows up, AC on full blast. He didn't waste time. Have you slept with my son? He asked, voice sharp. Doris didn't shake. No, she said, but I love him. He is my fiancé. We will marry. The word hit the chief like a slap. He tried to buy time and control. When he finally opened his mouth to talk again, he said Richard was too young, that Doris should back off from whatever she is doing with his son. He said that this kind of marriage would never work. Doris was calm. Then she said, Sir, I hate your wife. I respect your family, but I want a real life, not hiding. Chief tightened his hands on the steering wheel. He reminded her of the house, the clothes, the hair, the jewelries, everything he gave her. Doris looked him in the eyes. Thank you very much, Chief, but that was not love. Silence filled the car. Lagos traffic hummed outside. Chief Martin saw he was losing control. He knew what to do next. Sabotage. A date was set for both families to visit Doris' parents in Surulere. Richard dressed in a clean native outfit and brought gifts. Kamsi, his mother, wore a simple lace wrapper and smiled all morning. But just as they were about to leave to catch up with Chief Martins in his office, as earlier agreed, a call came from the chief's office. Oga don fall, his secretary shouted. He is clutching his chest. Richard rushed to the hospital with his mother. Doris stood by her window in Lekki, waiting. Phone in hand, the message came. Meeting postponed. Dad is in the hospital. At the hospital, the chief lay down, face pale, wire attached to his chest. Doctors moved around, serious and quiet. Unknown to them that Chief Martins had already planned with the doctor to make it look real. Richard held his father's hand, worried. Kamsi prayed softly, God, please keep my husband. Doris called and Richard explained everything. She understood, or at least tried so, but something in her heart felt off. Later that night, the doctor discharged the chief, saying it was stress and dehydration. He went home to rest. Richard promised Doris they would fix another date. Doris smiled on the phone. She paced her room. Something wasn't adding up. Another date was fixed. This time, Kansi arranged everything herself. No delay, she said. We go, we greet, we plan. But that morning, during a board meeting in Ikoyi, the chief collapsed. Again, people ran. Water was poured. An ambulance came. Lagos traffic parted for the siren. Word reached Richard and Kamsi, and everything stopped again. Doris sat at her dressing table in silence. She stared at her reflection. Her chest felt heavy. This was not chance. This was plan. She called her closest friend, Sophia. Smart, bold, and loyal. They met at a cafe in Lekki Phase 1. Doris explained it all. Sophia listened. Eyes sharp. Babe, this man wants to control your life forever, she said. He wants to keep you as a secret and keep his son far from you. But we won't let him. They built a timeline. They compared the heart attack and the fainting. The pattern was too neat. Sophia squeezed Doris' hand. We will end this, not with drama, but with truth. Doris nodded. It was time to fight, but with wisdom. Sophia knew where to look. She had seen the chief and Doris together before at a private lounge in Victoria Island. She also knew of pictures from a birthday boat cruise on the Lagos Lagoon. Photos the chief thought were buried. Sophia reached out to a photographer friend who owed her a favor. By evening, she had an envelope with printed photos. The chief and Doris together, laughing, holding hands, faces close under soft light. Proof. Doris' hand shook when she saw them, not because she was ashamed, but because the truth was now visible. This is not about destroying a family, Sophia said. It is about ending manipulations. If he blocked the marriage again, we expose the truth. He will have to choose peace. Doris breathed out. Slow and steady, they agreed on a plan. The next visit to her parents was set for the weekend. If the chief pretended to be sick again, Sophia would move. According to their plan, she would tell him that if this should happen again, by Monday, your wife, son, and the whole world will know about this, and no one should play God with people's destinies, Sophia said. Doris felt strong again. Sophia walked into Chief's office on Thursday afternoon like a woman with a mission. The receptionist tried to block her, but Sophia smiled and said, He's expecting me, and kept walking. She entered the glass walled office. The chief looked up, surprised. Who are you? He asked. Sophia sat down and placed the brown envelope on the table. I am Doris's friend. You think she have no one? I am closer than you thought. I am the friend who protects Doris. Open it, she told Chief Martins. Chief opens the envelope and color drained from his face. There he was, in pictures that told a story no press release could fix. Sophia spoke softly but firmly. Sir, the next meeting to Doris' parents is this weekend. If you fall sick again, if you faint again, if anything stop that meeting, on Monday, your wife, Your son and Lagos will know how you use Doris. The office felt cold. Chief Martin's pride rose like a wall, but fear cracked it. He cleared his throat. What do you want? Sophia stood up. Nothing. Just let love breathe. She left the office, her heels clicking like war drum. Chief stared at the photos. His empire felt shaky for the first time. That night, Chief Martin sat alone in his study. Lights low, Lagos sky dark outside. He remembered the first time he met Doris. The ease of control, the gifts, the secret trail. Now everything felt dirty. Kamsi knocked and entered quietly. What is wrong with you? She asked. You don't smile. You don't talk. Why are you blocking Richard's life? Chief Martins looked away. Doris is not right for him, he said. Kamsi frowned. On what ground? She is kind. She saved me. Our son is a man. Let him choose. He kept quiet. Shame sat on his tongue like pepper. Meanwhile, Doris visited her parents in Surulere and explained the drama without exposing the big secret. Her father, a calm man with wise eye, said, good homes are built on truth. Her mother prayed for peace and protection. When Richard came by later, he spoke to them respectfully. He explained his work plans, his love for Doris, and how he wanted to do things the right way. Introductions, bride price, and a proper church wedding. Doris' parents liked him. They gave a small smile. We will meet with your people this weekend, her father said. Doris finally exhaled. The storm was still there, but she could see clear sky behind it. Saturday came with bright sun and soft breeze. Richard drove his mother and father to Surulere. Chief Martins dressed in a simple native outfit, quiet as shadow. Doris' parents welcomed them warmly. Chairs were set in the sitting room, drinks on a tray, and a small plate of kola nuts on the table to honor tradition. Phone cameras stayed away. This was family, not show. Richard spoke first. He asked for Doris' hand with respect. Kamsi smiled, proud and grateful. Chief Martins cleared his throat once but kept still. Doris came out in a simple gown, beautiful and calm. Her parents blessed them. They talked bride price in soft voices and agreed on a modest list, not to sell their daughter, but to honor culture. Through it all, Chief Martins watched like a man holding fire in his mouth. Twice his phone vibrated. Twice he almost stood up to make a scene, but then he saw Kamsi's face, the woman who trusted him, who called Doris the good girl. He sat back down. The meeting ended with handshakes, laughter, and a date for the formal introduction. For the first time, hope felt real. Later that evening, back in Banana Island, the family ate a quiet dinner. Richard was excited, talking about halls, colors, and guest lists. Kamsi teased him quietly. Chief Martins lifted his spoon, then dropped it. He wanted to confess. He wanted to say, I know Doris before you. I failed you. I failed your mother. But his throat locked. Kamsi touched his arm. Whatever is fighting you, let it go, she said. God arranges people for people. Sometimes our pride becomes the enemy. Chief Martin swallowed hard. He excused himself and walked to his study. He picked up his phone and typed a message to Doris. I will not stand in your way again. Live well. Please keep peace in this family. He deleted it, then typed again. Shorter this time. No more trouble. Congratulations. He hit send. Doris read it and understood everything. He didn't say. She replied, thank you, sir. Sophia, on her own side, burns the printed photos in a metal bowl on her balcony. Ashes floated into the Lagos night. Let the past be past, she said. The wind agreed. By morning, the family machine moved forward. The introduction was set. The wedding plan started quiet but strong. The wedding day was bright and beautiful. Lagos dressed up, gele like crowns, agbada flowing, suit sharp, smiles everywhere. The church choir sang like rain on a hot roof. Doris walked in with slow steps, veil light as breath. Richard stood at the altar, eyes shining. When they exchanged vows, their voices did not shake. For better, for worse, they said, simple and true. People wiped tears. Even Chief Martins felt his eyes sting. At the reception in Victoria Island, music bounced, jollof rice smoke, and laughter filled the air. Kamsi hugged Doris like a real mother. Chief Martins took the microphone. He kept it short. Marriage is respect, truth, and courage, he said. I bless this home. He raised his hand over them and stepped back. Sophia danced beside Doris and whispered, you see, love won. Doris smiled and held Richard's hand tighter. They cut the cake, fed each other small bites, and thanked everyone. When the night ended, the couple drove away under soft street lights and city glowing like a promise. In Lagos, secret can shake a house, but truth can rebuild it stronger. Doris didn't trade her destiny for luxury. Richard didn't let pressure choose for him. And even the Chief Martins, learned that power without honesty is empty. Their love became a story people told, not because of scandal, but because it showed that true love, handled with wisdom and courage, can outshine even the darkest shadows. And that's on tradition for real. Moral lessons of the story: some secrets are better kept and taken to the grave than to be revealed and hurt your loved ones. If Chief had allowed their secret to be revealed, it will hurt his family. The secret can even tarnish his reputation if it gets out to the media. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Do you think it was right for Chief to allow peace reign by letting his son Richard get married to Doris, knowing fully well what both of them had been doing? Would you have allowed the secret come out just to stop Richard from going where you have gone to before? If you are in Chief place, let me know in the comment section. To my returning subscribers, thank you for always coming. And if you are new here, hi and welcome. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, like and share, put on post notification bell so you always get notified each and every time I post a new one. Yeah, like and share this video to your loved one. And I'll catch you in my next one. Thank you for watching. Folktale by Chinelo.